This episode of the Camp Staff Podcast is brought to you by Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It is a free application, so all you have to do is download it on your phone or go to the website anchor.fm to get started. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will actually distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Breaker Audio, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. So if you don't have any people listening to you or listen to your podcast, or if you don't have anyone that likes you, you can still make money if at least one person does. And it's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Anchor.fm. Download the App Store today. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Camp Staff Podcast. I'm your host, Zach. Also here with your host, David. Hey, David, how are you?
I'm doing pretty well. How about yourself?
Awesome. I'm doing great, man. How was your week so far?
Quarantined.
Since this is a wonderful Sunday, or any day of the week, this comes out on Sunday, so it's going to be
usually.
Sunday for. Let's just pretend it's Sunday because we definitely recorded this on Sunday.
It is the Lord's Day.
Yes, sir. Also talking about the Lord, we fired Austin.
What a transition! Absolutely,
Yes, sir.
We fired Austin. We decided that he is too
much of a pain in the butt.
Yeah,
he was a pain in the butt.
He's
mainly.
dead. No, okay, guys. Here's the real story. Austin was walking down the street. He was not quarantined inside of his house. He stepped on a banana peel, slipped, boom, neck instantly broken.
He slipped and fell on a banana.
Dead.
He slipped and fell on a banana, and that changed his life forever.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what we did, David?
What did we do?
We hired someone new.
Hired is a strong term because we don't pay anyone here.
Shh, we don't get paid either.
Oh, shh. We're money laundering schemes or scams.
Scams, okay. So I would like to welcome the new co-host for the Camp Staff Podcast, Alyssa.
The new host.
One of the new co-hosts. Hi, Alyssa. So, how are you?
Pretty good.
So, I have a question for you.
What is that?
All right. So, Alyssa, I have a question for you.
What's
and that question is, what areas have you worked in at a summer camp?
Trailblazers and aquatics.
Interesting. So, which one do you prefer? Trailblazers or aquatics is definitely better than Trailblazers due to many things. The only reason why I stayed in the area was the people I worked with. It was great. One of those people being Alyssa. Yeah. Ooh. No, I can't swim. Yeah. I had to wear those like pool floaties that you put on your arms, and it's kind of weird, but it's also very manly at the same time.
Do they have little duckies on them?
They are shaped like ducks because they're yellow and they're pretty cool.
They have little beaks.
So what we're doing is that we're going to have a rotating co-host every episode. We only have 4 co-hosts, and we're also going to announce these co-hosts as they appear on the show. So you're going to listen to a new person every day. Well, every week.
Wow.
Pretty much. Not really a new person because it's going to rotate between 4 people.
Isn't that just amazing how much funding we have for the Camp Staff Podcast?
Yeah. So, Alyssa, since you've worked at a summer camp for 2 years, if I'm correct?
Yes, you are.
What is a fun camp story that you would like to tell? Well, fun, I mean, what is an interesting or funny camp story you'd like to tell?
Well, this past summer, I was working at aquatics, and I was teaching a swimming class, obviously. Mm-hmm. And we had this like huge group of kids, and it was like all boys, of course. And then one of them just didn't really agree with the rest of the kids, and he was always searching for attention, I guess. So like every now and then when I was teaching the class, I'd just watch him fall into the water and sink all the way to the bottom of the pool and let himself like let himself float back up on his stomach, so it looked like he had legit drowned.
All right.
And yeah,
Human bobber.
yeah.
Keeping the people afloat.
Well, with all this excitement about a new co-host, we still have 2 guests this episode. Isn't
We
that
do
crazy?
have 2 guests.
There are
5 people.
people on the Camp Staff podcast today.
5 people, 1 episode. What is this? A crossover episode?
Oh.
All right. I would like to introduce Brandon Boober.
Okay, good
Boober.
try on the name. I'll give you one more try.
Brandon Boober.
Okay, we're close. You can do it.
Is it Grandin Gruber?
We'll go with that. All right. Hello.
Okay.
Brandon Duber. Yeah.
There you go. Good job.
Hi, Brandon. How are you doing, man?
Hello. I'm okay. I'm alive, honestly, and I think that's all we can really say right now.
Awesome. So, what areas have you worked at a camp for staffing?
So, what haven't I worked at this point?
That is true.
But the main thing that I get hired for every year is Provo.
Ooh, what is Provo?
So
For the people
Provo.
who do not know.
So Provo is shorthand for provisional.
Oh.
So we have a unit every week at camp where it's all the kids that didn't come with their troop. So sometimes it's a small group of like 3 or 4 kids from the same troop, or just one kid coming alone from his troop, and they all come together and they make their own troop, and they go throughout the week doing the activities together and stuff like any other troop would do.
Interesting. I think you might enjoy Provo if I'm correct, working there.
Yeah, it's been pretty good.
I know you would
when
have some like wild adventures. Oh,
Oh
sorry.
yeah, we've got a few. Before I got there, there was different leadership and other things like that, so it tended to be not a place you really wanted to work. But I feel like we've kind of changed the attitude on that into actually like a decent place where kids want to come.
Yeah.
Poof, my most interesting story was when we had a kid. God, I don't know if I should tell this, but
Say it.
we had a kid. I'm trying to remember how to explain this correctly because this was 2017, I think. Because I worked 2017 and 2019. This was the last week of 2017 camp.
All right, this is probably
We
gonna
had okay, I got it. So we had 3 kids that were from a troop in Puerto Rico that were guests with us for the week. And there were a couple kids that just did not take kindly to them for some reason. I don't know specifically what it was, but they were not huge fans of them. And one of these kids who would joke around saying that he had Vietnam flashbacks.
Oh no.
Eventually tried to create a plan where they would throw a sock party. Now, do you know what a sock party is, David or Zach?
I do not know what
I
a
do
sock
not.
party is.
Can you explain what a sock party
Okay,
is?
so have you seen the movie Full Metal Jacket?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you remember the scene where they held the dude down to the bed and started beating him with socks?
Oh, okay.
That.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it was a full like breakdown. We like called these kids' parents at the middle of the night. One of their parents lived in Tampa, so we had to drive 2 hours at midnight to come like pick us up or to come pick them up and stuff like that. So, and then the weirdest part was that one kid that I told you about specifically added me on Snapchat.
The Vietnam guy?
Yeah.
Huh.
And so I was like, I want nothing to do with you. So I like blocked him and turned off my location because I was like, because I was basically responsible for getting this kid kicked out, right? So like, what's he gonna do to me, It
So
was.
that was yeah. So that kid was actually my camping class that same week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and literally
absolute nut.
He literally during camping we go on a hike down to Sulphur Springs, which is like it's just a sulfur spring.
Mm-hmm.
And he literally just took out his phone and started playing what's that song from CCR? Yay Me. That's not the name of it, but you know the song I'm talking about, right?
I think I do.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. I can't say it off the top of my head,
But
unfortunately.
yeah, he just turned that on, blasted it, and started running down there, and he said, "This reminds me of my Vietnam days."
Yeah, it was something.
Yeah.
Especially because I had 5 weeks previously. I had no idea that I was going to have anything like that on my last week of camp.
I heard he got kicked out of camp because of a panty raid, not a sock party.
Not that I'm because I don't think we weren't co-ed at that time yet. We didn't have.
No.
Because that probably would have been last year.
I heard he like snuck into girls' staff camp. That's why.
He might have. I don't remember.
I heard something about that. That might have been just a rumor, but
I can't confirm that.
I can't confirm it either, but I can't deny it because that sounds like something he would do.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
So our second guest today, he's worked at ecology, and his name is Giovanni. What is up, Giovanni? Welcome to the show.
It is amazing, actually. It's 12 in the morning.
It's actually 10.
No, it's not.
Is it?
10:36. We torture our guests, but not that much. Goodness, Gio.
So,
My apologies.
Gio, how many summers have you worked? That's the first question.
I've worked one summer for the whole 6 weeks.
And next question. What is the most interesting thing that's happened to you in the ecology area?
The most interesting thing?
Yes. Like, what is the weirdest thing or the funniest thing that might have happened?
This is a vivid memory because I recall this very well. I can't remember what week, but during this summer, our area director, Jim,
Yep.
he bought
Jim.
a certain movie. Yes.
Jim.
Yes.
So what movie did he buy?
He bought the B movie.
Very ecological.
It was very ecological. In fact, it was so great that every after class or after dinner, we'd always put on that movie.
So was it like a cult kind of thing where you,
at
we're
some point, it did, yeah.
You made like a shape with candles. Did a bee sacrifice where you killed a bee around in those candles.
Wasps. I think they were kind of salty that we were watching the movie. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
they were very aggressive.
They probably prefer the Wasp movie because that's a way better movie.
Yeah, but we did it to spite them, you know.
Yeah,
can't let them have control.
Yeah, wasps are lame. Bees are where it's at.
Hey, you better watch out with that talk.
Of the
hey,
whole
man.
thing was that the TV, it's so big and old, and the screen, I forgot what they're called, but it was messed up. So the whole movie was just tinted with aqua blue. There's actually no yellow. It was actually all just aqua blue.
It was all blue.
Huh.
I'm blue, dabba dee babba die.
Actually, I heard that song.
Shut up.
The disrespect from Drayden Gruber. Telling a host of the Camp Staff podcast to shut up. I cannot believe it. The audacity.
The audacity.
Revolution.
Hey, maybe I'm trying to run this show.
Talking about running the show, Brandon Duber is actually going to be one of the rotating co-hosts for the show.
What?
Yeah. Isn't that weird, dude?
Yeah,
I know, right? That's wild.
Did you hear his reaction? He was like, "What?" As in, he didn't know it was about to happen.
Definitely
I know,
didn't
right?
know.
We're actually forcing him into our garage as we speak.
So yes.
Obviously, yeah.
They're all all the co-hosts are just tied up in the garage.
They have a water bowl and some newspapers. That's literally all they need.
They also have a TV.
Yeah.
This is why being a one-time is amazing because you're safe in your home.
Yes.
I wouldn't say that much, but yes, continue.
You are in your home, but safe is a different word that I would not use.
Safe is a broad term.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, so panty raids, I mean sock parties, same thing.
No, they're not. Not even
They're
close.
not though.
Articles of clothing.
Yeah, they go on your body somewhere.
Okay, cool.
And so how are you guys doing?
Fabulous.
All right, so I have a question for you, Brandon.
Okay, go for it.
Do you have another story that would you like to tell before we move on to our the main thing?
Yeah,
meat
so
of the podcast.
this story is not mine, but it is Provo related. It was
Alright.
actually the winter camp before my first summer at Provo, which was when our new Provo director took over. So he did a winter camp, and one of the weeks they had 63 kids in Provo.
No, that sounds
Crazy.
terrible.
Yeah. Not only that, but they didn't have the lean-to set up. So they had them all sleeping in individual tents. So I want you to imagine in that small space of that campsite we normally use, I want you to imagine just 63 tents just all next to each other, just spreading out like a disease from that one little area.
Like the coronavirus.
Sure,
Oh.
yeah. And things got so out of control at one point that 10 campers tried to stage a coup.
A what?
What?
A coup,
What?
like an uprising, like a revolt
Yeah.
against the current administration.
Sorry, I thought you said haiku. Like
No.
They're gonna have a poetry sesh.
No, like a revolt against the current government.
A revolution.
Sure, we'll call it that. They wrote a Declaration of Independence and everything. My boss still has it in his wallet. He carries it with him all the time because he thinks it's the funniest thing.
That sounds like a work of art.
Yeah, it was magical. And you know the reason that they started it?
Why?
When we set up the troop, we have like a full leadership team. So we have them elect an SPL and patrol leaders and all that other stuff. The coup started was because the SP told a couple of the kids to stop throwing the football in a certain direction, but they kept doing it, so he took the football away.
Oh no.
And if I cannot think of a dumber reason to start a coup.
Honestly, I understand. I'm not saying they're right, but I understand.
Sure you do, David.
Football. All because of a football.
Yeah, so we may have had some interesting standoff moments in our time, the Cuban Missile Crisis. Things like that. I would say this goes up there as like modern revolution standoffs of the century.
Interesting. So
like, wait. So did anything escalate, or just the Declaration of Independence?
Not that I'm aware of. I think they had the SPL demoted or whatever. They voted to get rid of him because like he just wasn't doing his job correctly. I don't specifically know because I wasn't present.
Honestly, at that point, split up into two different provos. 63 people are way too much.
Well,
I could even recommend with 60 people, you could have 3 different.
Yeah, that's cool, but
entire troops.
That's cool, but like try to do 2 troops with 1 adult.
Oh, I see what you mean.
You have to remember it's one,
there was only
moderately disabled late 50-year-old man. He can't run 2 troops. He can barely run 1 by himself,
So
I see what you mean.
That was fun. That must have been a fun experience for him.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Giovanni, do you have any other stories before we move on?
Yeah, I have one.
All right, spit it out.
Well, this story revolves more around commitment and why it's not always the best idea.
Yeah.
Huh?
I'm a little nervous about where this is going.
So one time, when I worked at the summer camp, I taught astronomy. Yeah, astronomy. and one of the requirements was to have a star party. I'm like, okay, that sounds like a good idea. But the thing is, I didn't. This was the first week. I never did this ever again. Was that it was already Wednesday, or it was Thursday by the time. So, and that was the night for ecology's night off, and I thought, you know what? I'm gonna look in my heart, and I'm gonna do this requirement so that these kids can get the merit badge. And I remember when I was out in that field, looking at the stars, I remember thinking, man, this sucks. This is the worst. There's so many bugs everywhere. No, barely any kids showed up, so only like a few kids actually even got the requirement. And I was out there, and at some point, I remember was I was there alone for quite a while, and it was dark. It was in the sports field, and I remember thinking, I'm like, man, if I go missing, is anyone really gonna find me here? This is the worst idea I've ever had, and that's why I never, ever, if I ever teach astronomy, I'm never ever gonna do them on nights off because that's the worst possible decision I've ever made by
Ah,
far.
yeah. I had a similar story with wilderness survival. So during winter camp, we teach wilderness survival and scout, and, and so there's a bunch of these kids care, you have to spend like 2 days built to watch while they do it because most of the time the shelter just collapses halfway through development. So you just watch all these kids just build these things, these giant structures. By giant, I mean like a lean-to, and they, these few kids, they built like in a like a studio apartment for them.
Mm.
It was weird. It looked terrible. I mean, it literally collapsed in the middle of the night. Terrible.
Did you ever have any snake issues?
No, we did not have a snake issue.
Oh,
Luckily,
that's good.
there was
Whenever...
just there was only an ant issue, and that was it.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. I put them in like groups of 3, and then some of them just cuddled for warmth. I think because it was like 40 degrees, 30 degrees outside.
How? It was the middle of summer, or was it
No, it
summer
was
camp?
winter. This is winter camp.
Oh,
Winter
okay.
camp. Okay, I was confused.
It's like, what?
And-
Huh?
I wish.
You know, a brisk Florida summer is only 95, 100 degrees with like what 60% humidity.
Yeah, that's why they needed to huddle for warmth.
And just imagine you're just sleeping, and all you hear is a, and you're like, oh crap, and you just feel a bunch of palm fronds just fall on you.
Oh.
That must have been a great experience. They probably could have got the astronomy merit badge at that time because they just had to
Probably
look
could've.
up and they got the requirements, So let's move on to the main course of this podcast.
Yeah, main course is right.
So David, Brandon, and I were just messing around one night, and we were like, "Hey, what's the best fruit?" This was after we watched this movie called Guns Akimbo, starring Harry Potter, Daniel Radcliffe.
Raspberries.
Oh no! Please don't. Please
Wasn't-
don't mention that movie.
And I'm not going to continue talking about that film. And we're like, "Hey, let's have
Film
let's
is
make
a broad term.
It's a work of art.
I mean, it was
No.
okay.
It was okay.
I enjoyed myself while I was watching it.
I had fun, even though it was bad. It was fun.
Yeah,
bad.
I mean, I guess so. It was fun, but I'll give you that much.
And so we're like, hey, let's make a fruit tier list.
Mm-hmm.
And so we spent 3 hours one night. 3 hours arguing about fruit.
And of course, do you guys want to know the real reason why Austin was fired? Do you guys want to know the real reason?
The real reason?
He didn't
Oh,
like
I can
raspberries.
guarantee
He
you.
did not like strawberries.
I can
didn't
guarantee you that the audience, when you asked that question, was shaking their head and saying, "No, I do not want to know why Austin was fired. I do not care."
We're just glad he's gone. Just stop. Just,
When I listen to this
you
on
don't.
Sunday,
You don't
I'm
have
gonna
to
say
twist
yes.
our arm. You don't have to twist our arm. Anyways, he thought strawberry was like a C or a D.
Is he allergic to them or something?
No, he said he genuinely just does not like them.
He's allergic to good taste, is what it is.
You know what?
It's a-
Maybe he has COVID. I feel like
Okay, little bold
it's a
accusation
symptom.
there.
Point.
It's a symptom. It's a
He's
You
symptom.
patient
do
zero.
lose
And
taste.
he's no longer
He's no
on a
longer with us
podcast.
because he slipped
Yeah,
on a banana
exactly. This
peel
is what I'm trying to get
We
that he
to.
are,
praised so highly.
We are traveling down a
I
slippery
might
slope.
add you.
He praised the banana.
The banana, grapes, and watermelon. He put
No.
watermelon above. Wait.
He
No.
wanted banana grapes at the bottom also.
Oh, it's right. Grapes are fine. Red grapes and green grapes. They are.
But when they have
They're
seeds.
okay.
seeds, they're not good.
I
Yeah,
have
that could be rough.
never had a grape with a seed in it. I cannot say from any personal experience that the seeds in grapes are too much.
So what we're gonna do now is that we are gonna make a fruit tier list on this because
Oh God.
fruit
Raspberries at the top.
is an essential for the cooking merit badge. It's one of the main things. So this is camping related.
Okay.
Did
I
we
agree.
did we have to make it camping related?
Well, now I
Is-
did.
We made monkey ape brain connection. Ooh, food cooking merit badge. Yes.
Okay.
So, this is how a tier list usually works. Let me just give you guys a rundown. So S is like best tier, right? Then it goes A, B, C, D, and then E and F. Well, it just really depends, right? But you guys get the general idea.
So for
Yeah.
ours, we're gonna have S, A, B, C, D, and vegetable.
And vegetable, okay.
Okay. All right.
So in the
Alright.
V category, can we put tomato?
In the V category, yes,
Yeah.
we can, because even though it
Because-
technically is a
Yeah.
fruit, it's just not succulent like the others.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm gonna have to disagree with you there.
All right, let's
I
like
can eat a tomato right now.
We
You
can't
know-
be disagreeing already.
Giovanni, when is the last
Just throw a little
time that you
salt
put?
on some tomato.
When is the last time that you put a tomato in a fruit salad?
can you even put. Well,
Yesterday.
You can, Zach. You can.
I know.
right?
I just yeah.
But you shouldn't, right? As the old tale goes, it's knowledge to know that a tomato is a fruit, but it's wisdom to know that it's not good in a fruit salad.
Oh yes,
Okay.
thank you, Mr. Confucius. You're so wise.
All right.
Right.
Next one we're talking about is pumpkin.
V.
I don't like pumpkin pie.
I think pumpkin.
V.
should
That's
be-
a V category.
Yeah, I
about
think I'm going.
pumpkin
I think I'm
pie?
going V as well.
I'm going V also. It's just not succulent enough, like a banana.
What,
You
Gotta
can't
find a
put
different adjective. buddy.
what is your definition of succulent?
Juicy. Makes my mouth water when I bite into it.
A tomato literally is
Yeah.
juice.
Like
You ever
It
had
makes
tomato
ketchup.
juice?
like orange juicy, like tangy,
Holy shit, dude.
Tangy. I would.
sweet.
Yeah.
That it,
Okay.
it tastes good in
Like
your mouth,
lime.
and you don't need like
Okay,
anything
so
else to put it
I
in.
could argue tomato and pumpkin both taste good, but they're in the V
Wait, is it
category.
just like the fruit by itself, or like could you say pumpkin spice?
Just the fruit, pumpkin.
Oh, then. I think that's V. I think that's V.
I'm thinking like these should be like the fruits taste by themselves. That's what I'm saying. So next fruit is the avocado.
Ooh.
Oh.
That's a
Yes, as a
Yeah,
seed.
I guess that is a fruit.
It is a fruit. So what? I'm gonna put it in V category also. Guacamole may be good when it's mixed with tomatoes, but
I feel
I don't
like
know.
just straight avocado
Avocados
is
are
pretty
pretty
good. Like
good.
avocado and toast is really good.
avocado is a good fruit.
I'm
I-
not a big avocado guy.
Great.
Which is
Honestly,
fair.
I'm gonna
preference.
let's put it on D tier. You know,
D.
it-
Can we go C?
Let's go. C, guys. C.
I think
Yeah,
we should go
I'm
A
willing to
for
compromise. I think it tastes like dirt, but
That's
Yeah.
fair.
I was gonna put in V or D, but C, I can roll with that.
All right. Can
So
we go? Let's
let's
Can we
get.
start
Wanna,
with like another basic one? Can we go strawberry now?
yeah,
So
yeah,
we just
yeah.
like set.
Let's go-
Set.
Top
let's-
tier, top.
we getting our
Let's go
S
to-
tiers out of the way now?
Yeah, we're getting
Alright,
the S tiers out of
strawberry.
the way.
Strawberry. S tier.
Raspberry.
No, I love strawberries.
S.
Raspberries.
Raspberry easily S. I love
Raspberry-
Raspberries are top tier. Whoa,
I-
whoa, whoa.
Don't eat raspberries.
Yes, sir.
So I have no opinion.
I don't eat raspberries either. Yeah, I have no opinion.
And then blackberries and
S.
blueberries are A tier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blueberries.
I can
Yep.
agree with
A
that.
tier. Yep. Watermelon.
Frozen.
I
That's
put
C.
C tier.
That's S
C.
tier. That's S tier.
C.
C. Because you can get
Really?
really
No
bad
way.
watermelons and you can get really good watermelons.
Like
Yeah, but
it really
what-
depends on when you get it. Like there's the sweet ones which are pretty good, and then there's just the water ones, which is just.
Have you
why
ever
it's called
guys have
watermelon.
bitten into a?
It's
Sorry.
like the most survival fruit because not only are you getting food, but you're getting water. That's like the most survival strat food.
If I
So
wanted,
we're eating cactuses now.
exactly.
That is a fruit.
It's a good point. Good point. Good point.
So, what was I saying?
I don't know.
Yes,
Kept saying,
host. What were you saying?
What was I saying? I'm lost.
So so that's what you were saying. All
But
right.
yeah, watermelon C tier.
Yeah.
I just gotta say it. It's not
Oh
that good.
yes, watermelon.
agree with
Have you
this
ever
one.
bitten
I
into a
don't
watermelon?
understand-
It just tastes a grainy, like grain. Have you
But
guys
aren't we,
like a
aren't we
gritty
talking
type
about
taste?
this like we're talking
Yeah,
about?
when I drop
like,
it in sand.
Because we're passionate, Alyssa. I'm sorry
No,
you
no,
don't
no.
understand that.
What I'm trying to say is like you said you get good watermelon or bad watermelon. Are we talking about it like we get the best version of the fruit?
That's a good question. That is a good question. I think that we should get an overall, right? Because you're
think-
not always going to get the best watermelon. You're not always going to get the best strawberry, you know?
You know
So
what?
strawberries are neutral enough that you're always going to get a half decent strawberry or higher.
Since I put avocado C tier, let's put watermelon B tier.
Okay,
tier?
I can.
Okay.
I'm okay with that.
I
Content.
agree with that.
Content. I'll take it.
Content, yeah.
Next fruit, apple.
Uh,
Granny
the
Smith
best-
or red
Mhm.
apple?
I mean,
Red
like
apple.
the doctor thing is a good reason.
Red apples, I personally will put that D tier. Red.
Okay.
Mm,
What about the Golden Smith apples?
Golden Smith, like the yellowish ones, like the
The sour ones?
the green
no
ones.
green.
The green ones. That one.
Green apples, those, in my opinion, are at least B or above. Those are super good.
Okay.
If you have just
I-
one.
Like most red apples I have that are from
They're
schools,
grainy.
they're really nasty.
Really
And
mushy, I
They're
think.
mushy
small.
in this.
So
Well,
I'm
that's
gonna
just
put it.
because that's just because they're old and not well kept.
So
True.
I'm gonna say D tier.
D tier for red apple. Yeah, for red
I-
apples.
I'm hurt.
Bananas.
I'm hurt by that.
Bananas.
Mm.
Since
They make
I-
everything taste like bananas. It
It's
tastes
hard
like-
to eat
oh,
more than one banana.
That's a lot of potassium.
Well, I'm gonna say S tier because it killed Austin. But
Yeah, true.
That's true.
That too. Yeah, yeah. We'll go
So,
with that.
I-
Also,
S-
it's a
S
pretty
tier.
neutral fruit, and it's it's pretty good.
Yeah,
yeah,
it tastes all right.
So let's go A. Let's go A.
it's always good, same in quality most of the time.
Mhm.
Okay.
I don't know about that.
Depends on the age. Next is cantaloupe, my least favorite fruit.
S.
Ooh.
you
I
know,
would
it's
say
good.
D tier.
Yeah, D.
Yeah,
I definitely
D.
think it's
I
Y'all
don't.
are
I don't.
nuts.
I personally don't like cantaloupe.
Okay.
I like
I
cantaloupe.
never like
I never-
I want to put it
yeah,
C tier.
cantaloupe is good, especially when it's juicy.
I want to say C.
Yeah. Or succulent, if you will.
Oh,
So that's
yeah,
it.
exactly.
We have a divide here.
Okay, I can
wanna-
agree with C because it's not something I go for at the store.
Yeah.
See,
Okay.
I
C
can
tier, C tier.
compromise with C. I
Wait,
suppose.
what did we say
C
about
for
bananas?
cantaloupe.
A
We said
tier.
A.
A tier.
What?
Yeah, they're pretty good.
They're pretty
I
good.
don't like bananas. They're not.
They're-
They
they're
make
com-
everything else taste like a banana.
Fine, we'll go B for
That
banana.
sounds
B
like
tier.
a
B for banana. That's
personal
not,
problem.
B tier. We're moving
B.
banana
Okay.
down.
all right. Next is cherry.
D.
D.
For
You
me,
know-
I think that's definitely a D.
Have you guys
pits
had
are
a
too
Shirley
much.
Temple?
They're way too hard.
Oh,
Shirley
I
Temples
love
are really
Shirley
good.
Temples.
No, you said if it's only the fruit.
Sorry,
You can't just say if you had
that
a
just
certain
got me-
temple.
Also,
You're
Shirley
right.
Temples are good, but it's like artificial as heck.
I
Yeah.
don't care.
So I'm gonna put
I'm not a big cherry fan.
I'm gonna put a C tier.
D.
I'd
D.
go with
I think
D.
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 D. Okay.
D.
D tier. Next fruit, coconuts.
Coconut is
I hate
Ooh.
coconuts. No.
I'm gonna D tier.
V.
Sorry.
What?
Coconuts,
I
coconuts.
disagree.
Totally a C
I
tier.
personally
I
like coconut.
despise-
I'd put
I
it B,
despise
so it's probably
coconut.
gonna end up at C.
I think
You
it's
know-
C. I think C is great.
I'm gonna put C. Yeah, since
I
Coconuts are
despise
definitely very
coconuts.
polarizing. You either love them or you hate them.
I don't
Absolutely,
really.
I agree.
I like artificial coconuts more than normal coconuts.
Hmm
I don't
Yeah.
like coconuts in general,
Next,
especially the
Next-
flakes.
next is blood orange.
I don't really
Does
know.
it, I've never had one.
Are
Does
you
it
sure that's
taste
not a
like orange?
grapefruit?
Wait, it's a grapefruit. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Grapefruit,
I hate-
immediate lowest tier.
Vegetable. Alright.
No, it's
Mm.
above one step above vegetable. Vegetable is
tier.
not the lowest
Grape-
tier, but it's
So the problem with grapefruit is that it's very bitter. I used to have a lot of grapefruits
But a lot
because
of
it is
my
harsh. It's very
my
harsh.
my grandpa had a grapefruit tree in his backyard, so we would have a lot of grapefruits.
Mhm.
They're very bitter. They're definitely one of those things that you have to eat with sugar,
Mhm.
Yeah.
which is I think kind of defeats the purpose of a fruit. So
Absolutely.
I'm willing to go low on that.
So D.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
You
Kiwis.
need the right technique.
Kiwis, C.
S.
A.
S.
A.
Okay, I could agree with
A.
I think I'll go
A.
A as well.
All
A.
right.
I can compromise with A. I can
A.
see why people would like it. I personally don't.
It depends on how you cut it.
I like it blended in smoothies.
We're still going
I'm
the bird,
thinking
right?
no.
The
Oh,
bird.
That makes sense. Still
Lemons. D
A
I
tier.
love
tier.
lemons. Oh.
I mean,
Ew,
yeah,
yuck.
I, B.
No,
Lemons
I mean,
by
because it's
themselves.
good. B.
they're low. By themselves, I think they're very low. But like with
C.
like sugar, then they're pretty high.
I
They
think
have
we should.
they have potential, but a lot of it's just wasted because it's so sour.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm gonna say C tier because lemon heads are good.
Well,
Well, that's
I
candy.
like lemon in so many things. Like lemon can spice up a dish. Like it's
Zesty. It's
it's
zesty.
zest.
True.
Like it adds
You're
so
right.
much
Oh.
like
So I think
flavor
C tier.
profiling to things. I
I
say
think-
B
yeah, I think
tier.
C-
You guys
C's
aren't
like
giving
the-
lemon enough credit.
Okay, B tier. I'll be nice.
Okay.
All right, next is an orange. It's the
Hey, S
OG.
tier.
Like
I
the
love
clementines are like
oranges. S tier.
orange.
Orange, like
Just
just a
orange.
regular orange.
Or regular
I don't
orange,
really
not
like.
clem.
I don't
My
really
problem
like
with
oranges.
oranges is that
They're
they are a lot
stringy.
of work.
A lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
They
was
make your
initially
meal-
thinking B. I don't
I was
know.
thinking C
I don't. I
because of
go
the
with
work
C.
part.
Nah, I feel like I love oranges. I can if you offer me an
And the
orange, I'll take that
seeds.
I love the flavor of the orange, but it's just too much work. I would give it a B.
It's a lot
but,
of work,
you know,
and like the little veins in it get stuck in your
And the
teeth a lot.
seeds.
The
yeah,
seeds, yeah.
I think C tier
Oh.
because the flavor is good. It's just a
Yeah.
pain in the
You're
butt.
convincing me. You're convincing me. I'm all in on
Wait,
C.
but another thing about oranges, I don't know if you ever looked at like what the orange like little like juices look like, but they look really cool. Like where the little juices are. They look really
What?
cool in my opinion.
We're not talking about the aesthetics of the fruit.
Okay.
All right, next is a peach.
Ooh,
Those are
hit or miss
Like-
for me, honestly.
B?
tough.
Peaches are
I-
good.
I
I
like
think-
peach
Yeah.
flavor. I
B.
just don't like biting into a peach. I don't know. I was thinking C, B.
I think B because
I
it's
think
not
B,
as
Yeah,
it,
I agree with B. I'd agree with B.
it has a good taste, but it's
Yours is
just
a peach state.
I like how you. I don't like the fuzzy part. But
That's the
Oh,
best
okay.
I licked the
It's
fuzzy
weird.
part. I just,
part.
next is a pear.
I don't.
D
Pear?
tier.
Pears
are
It's a
very
knockoff
good.
Apple. That's like
All right, so this is the hill I'm willing to die on. Pears are good, and no one can change my mind.
They are pretty
Alright,
good.
but I
bec-
still
they're
say
not
D.
bad, but they're knockoff apples. That's what.
yeah,
I
they
like.
yeah, they can
Knockoff.
be on the same level as apples on D tier.
Yeah.
Pears will always be in my personal S tier, but this is not a personal list, so.
It's gonna be like I hate pears with a burning passion. I don't know why.
But they're shaped better than apples.
Which means pears.
They have a good grip. You can
And-
You know
grip
what
it
a
very
pear
easily.
Yeah.
reminds me of? It
Have y'all
reminds me of the
watched
show
Nickelodeon
Victorious.
shows? Yeah,
Reminds me of the
pear
show
pads.
Victorious, where they instead of
Oh, the
Apple
pear
devices.
phones!
yeah, they had pear phones.
I always thought those were weird, and I thought they were really cool.
All right. So D tier or C tier?
D.
D tier.
D tier. Okay. Next is pineapple.
See,
That's A. That's
I think-
B. B.
It
At least
it tears up the roof
B
of your
is
mouth.
B is the lowest I'll go.
B.
Okay, I think B is a good then.
I
I'll
think
go with B.
it has a
I
great
don't know if
flavor.
anybody can
It's
relate
just
to me with
sticky
this one.
and it's hard to get out.
Yeah.
But if you
Yeah.
eat too much of it, like the acidity will like tear up the roof of your mouth. I don't know if I'm just allergic to pineapple or
I
something.
think you're just allergic to pineapple.
No,
That's-
that's not it. Actually, the pineapple, the juices actually have digestive enzymes in them.
Yeah.
I found that out.
Aren't they like
Oh,
acidic?
So I'm not
also?
crazy.
Yeah,
Why are
No,
you
you're
eating
not
so
crazy.
much?
but they're still really good.
But yeah, I put it on B tier. You guys agree?
Yeah.
I think
Fine.
B tier is good.
All right.
Sure.
Two more
Brandon
fruit.
hasn't talked because we destroyed his pear.
His ideals.
We have two more fruit, guys.
No, I'm just realizing how superficial and how much this just does not matter.
Listen, this
You know-
matters
Matters
so
to
much.
us.
You know when something is like really important to you in your head, and then you start communicating this idea, and you go, "Wow, wait a minute, this is just dumb."
It's not dumb. Why would you
That's why
spend
ignorance
the
is
past
such a good thing.
16 minutes or so talking about it?
All
Not
right.
because we are running out of ideas. No, good sir.
Obviously not.
All
That's why
right.
we came up with this days ago.
All right. Next thing we're talking about is mangoes.
They're okay.
They're like
Sticky.
yeah,
Dicky.
I think
Mangoes.
Dicky. Dicky.
C tier.
I think
See, okay.
I agree with C. I
They have
agree
good
with C.
flavor.
And last fruit, pomegranate.
Wait, are
Pomegranate.
those the? Those are
Oh.
so good.
That's the stuff with
S.
the C? Yeah, oh, those
S.
are great. I think that's
I
definitely at
th-
least A.
That's an A tier in my opinion. In my opinion.
S.
What you guys' thoughts, David?
I missed the fruit it cut out. What are you
Pomegranate.
guys? Pomegranate A, easily.
All right.
Actually, I'd even go a step further to hit S, but
S.
I go down to A only because how hard it is to get the pomegranate things
I
out.
don't care. It's
Oh.
totally worth it.
I'm
is worth it in
okay.
the end.
So good.
I'm okay with pomegranate flavored things, not necessarily pomegranate though.
And it's
All right.
healthy for you.
That was
very
all
healthy.
the fruit. So S
Wait.
tier.
Can we get some honorable mentions real
Yeah,
quick? Hold on.
put some honorable
So,
mentions.
we forgot cranberries.
Cranberries. I love cranberries.
Oh,
B tier
cranberry juice.
Is lime a fruit?
or C
Yeah.
tier. I think B or C.
I always think an A for cranberries. You can mix any
Clementines.
Clementine's B tier.
B tier. Yeah,
But
convenient.
it's so easy.
It's
Yeah, they're
convenient.
good.
man.
Good.
What about
That's-
prune?
We're almost running out
Prunes.
of time in the Camp Staff podcast, so I agree with Zach. Let's get the rundown and then let's
All right.
say our goodbyes.
S tier. Strawberry, pomegranate. All right. And raspberry.
Yes.
A tier. Blackberries and kiwis. Okay.
Okay.
B tier.
Okay.
Bananas, watermelons, lemons, peaches, and pineapple.
Okay.
C tier. Avocado, cantaloupe, coconut, oranges, and mangoes. D tier. Apples, cherries, grapefruit, and pears. And finally, vegetable tier. Tomatoes and pumpkins.
That's the official list right there.
That is the
I mean-
official
There
list.
is no debating it. This
I mean,
is
that's
law.
the objective list. If you disagree, you're just wrong. I'm sorry.
Yep.
You're
That's just kind of
wrong.
how it works.
We made it
That's
official.
a fact.
If you'd like to dispute us,
Message
can
us
post-
below on our Instagram at the Camp Staff Podcast.
with your own tier list.
Yes,
And then
sir.
once you're done with it, I want you to post it on your Instagram story and tag us. And then we'll tell you how wrong you are.
Yes, sir. I'll do it. I'll literally go one by one.
I
If
will-
there's like 100
I
of
will
them.
personally shame you for putting pears too low on your list.
All right.
Oh,
He will
shame
send
me.
you He was sent you an MLA format essay on why pears are higher than what you have on your list.
Thank you, David, for being on the show again. I'd like to thank you, David.
Wow. Thank you for
I know, right? What a
thanking me
special
for
guest.
being on my own show.
Yeah, I know. All right, I would like to thank Brandon for being on the show.
Woo!
Thank you for having me. I hope that I will be on in the future. It seems like I will be at this point, so
Absolutely.
I guess y'all got to get used to me, huh?
All right, Giovanni, I would like to thank you for being on the show.
You're welcome. Honestly, it's been such an honor. I feel so amazed.
And finally,
I'm glad.
Thank you, Alyssa, for signing up for being a co-host.
You're welcome.
We
Mhm.
promised
it's an
her free
honor to have
T-shirts,
me.
but like we're definitely not getting her free T-shirts.
We can't afford that.
That's gonna cost like $40, and we all know it.
We can just
All
have
right.
the style laid up and brag that we did it, but didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can brag that we designed a shirt, but we never paid for it because our camp does not pay us enough for us to be buying custom shirts like that.
All right, I'd like to thank you all, guys. Thank you all for listening to this episode, and hope you guys listen to more. Have a great day.
Follow us at Camp Staff Podcast. Good night, everyone.